Hey y'all, I promise we'll get right to the video, but first we got some fan mail that came in from Bear and the Boss Lady at gmail.com, and we thought we'd read it to you. It's our first fan mail. We got 3 of them, so I'm gonna share them with you. Bear, you are fat. Can we see the Boss Lady more? Is this the place where you get the acorn things? Acorn things? You mean beacorns maybe? Sarah in Spokane, Washington, it says, Bear, how do you know if your carving is a male or a female carving? Okay, Sarah, I'm gonna show you. This is a cardinal, and other than the obvious, it has a red plumage. There's something you can notice about it that will tell you whether it's a male or female. Look at the mouth. If the mouth is closed, it's a male. Hey y'all, how's it going? Hey, thanks for watching. We're gonna turn this piece of sycamore into a bass, and I know I've complained about sycamore. It's hard as a rock, but I'll tell you what, if you do unpainted stuff, it's really, really pretty. And not only that, even if you do paint it, the marks, everything you put in here, the checks, I'm gonna put the little ribs down through there that a bass has and make its design, pull the fins through with the pointy burr, all that stuff. When you do that, it stays in here. This wood is good and hard. It's really good carving wood. That said, we're gonna get at it, carve this baby, start making it. We'll get the saw running and see what happens. Hey, and I just put out a short today wearing this goofy hat, you know, Viking hat and all that, and acting crazy. Boss Lady said, that is the dumbest video you have ever made. And in less than 2 hours, it's already had 6,000 views and had almost 300 likes. Okay, Boss Lady. Hey, thank you. I appreciate that. Watch us. We're getting ready to cut on this thing right now. So this particular wood type, while it is really hard, it's a really tight grain wood. It's not too bad when you cut it down into a 3 or 4 inch piece to carve on. But that does come with a caveat. Whenever you hit a knot in the wood, it can rip your saw right out of your hand almost. Watch close to what happens when I go to cut on the mouth. Daggone technical difficulties. I thought I'd play that in actual speed, just so you kind of got an idea what really happened there. It just hung up. It grabbed a hold of the saw. It was so tight right there where that knot was, and it just would not let go. And by the time I yanked at it a couple times, the backside of the jaw horse leg just collapsed. But you know, it's just all on how you react to it. And not getting too upset about it. Things happen. I mean, what am I going to do? Take the board off and beat it in the ground and try to break it? In the end, a piece would probably just fly off and hit me in the face anyway. So better off to just stay cheery, because I'm doing something that I want to do anyhow. And you can't ever beat that, even when things don't go as expected. Time to flip it. One thing about any time you're using a power tool, you got to be ready and expect the unexpected. And things just happen. And it's even worse when you're working on a really hard piece of wood. Here's a case in point. So, with carving, without a doubt, things happen. And in this case here, pop the chain off. Anyway, we'll pop that baby back on and get right back at it. Now, you can have a lot of things not go your way. And there's always going to be several things in life that don't go your way. And sometimes you just got to admit it's your fault, but not always. In this case, like a chain popping off or something like that. It's all about how positive of a person you are and having a desire to keep going. Do you wake up in the morning expecting that you're going to find joy in some of the experiences that you'll have? One thing I can relate about my view on that is almost all of us absolutely have to work. But that said, is it really that bad? For one thing, you go to work, you do what you got to do. I've been in the same business for 25 years. And so that said, I know a lot about it. I know the ins and outs of it, or a good bit of the ins and outs of it. There's certain parts of it that I don't know and I don't want to know. But that said, at the end of the day, whether it's a good day, a bad day, or indifferent, I know that I get to come home and do this, and I don't have to do it. And that just makes this so much more enjoyable. even than something I've been doing pretty much all my adult life and I'm really good at. Now, here's a little bio on me. I'm 48, and you might ask yourself, why would a guy at 48 be doing chainsaw carving? Well, I actually started this back in 2019, and then when COVID hit, I quit. But that said, I took it back up last summer, and 47, yeah, we might have talked about it, me and the boss lady. Ain't you a little old to be doing that? Yeah, I might be, but you know, I've always had a really strong drive, and if I want to do something, I do it. I really like art, and I really like to do things that are unique. Over the years, I can think up other things that I've taken up that I didn't have to do, like taxidermy. I taught myself how to do deer and ducks and birds, just birds in general. I really like doing taxidermy, but for myself. It's something I wouldn't do for other than my own family. I didn't like it enough that I would do it for money. But this is a different story. I love doing this, and it's not gooey. If you want to get an idea on how I feel about some of the gooey things, you can go back and check out the video I put out about Euro taxidermy, and that was kind of an experience. When you're mounting a deer on a foam body, and you're taking the antlers out of the skull, and taking the hide off and cutting all the flesh off and all that, yeah, it's kind of yucky, but the taxidermy, when it comes to making these Euro mounts, which is easier, supposedly cheaper, it's a lot faster, I'll say that. It is nasty. It is in a whole nother level from doing a deer head. But that said, back to what we're doing now. You can see I'm cutting around the mouth and cleaning out the mouth a little bit, but I didn't show too much I made that mouth hollow. I started digging into the mouth. There you can see that the saw gets into the mouth a little bit, but I just kind of made a joke about this. All right, so there you have it. That's the basic carving of the fish. Now I'm gonna go ahead and start drawing out, and actually no, I'm gonna start sanding and then I'll draw it out. But anyway, this is gonna be the basic part of the fish. I didn't show this because you wouldn't be able to see it anyway. What do you think of that? A hole in the mouth. You can see a little bit of a tongue there. Anyhow, we're gonna start sanding this baby now and get it nice and smooth, and then we'll start drawing in all the detail. Now you women out there, don't get too salty. Everybody's allowed to joke a little bit. All right, we got this baby all sanded, looking pretty good. Let's start drawing a detail on it and carving this baby out. The one thing you can count on for me is you're not gonna hear any blonde jokes. After all, I do wanna wake up tomorrow. And speaking of the boss lady, some might have wondered, I wonder how you come up with that name. And yeah, you'll have a few people that they'll just make assumptions. Well, I'll bet he works for her or something like that. No, that's not the case at all. What it is I started calling her boss. One day she said something and I started calling her boss. She didn't like it. Guess what? If you don't like something, I'm just one of them jerks that will just take advantage of it and keep using it. And I've called her the boss lady for a couple of years now. She had never liked being called the boss lady. She's never gonna like being called the boss lady. But that says she's gotten used to it. And now we just refer to her as the boss lady. Ain't that how things go in real life? Especially when you've been married for 25 years. There's just certain things, little idiosyncrasies, little relationship aspects that you just have, and it's no big deal. We've both been joking about all kinds of different ridiculous things about each other pretty much all our lives at this point. I mean, heck, I've known her since she was 17. Actually, I knew her before then, but we've been dating we were dating since she was 17. So I have really known her all my life. We definitely have a unusually good relationship, a relationship that people who have been together that long should have. Now, while she does like to participate in finishing some of this stuff, she didn't really like to be involved with the videos. And I can't blame her. A lot of people don't. And most people aren't going to get on here and do something that they haven't really done for very long and let other people watch them do it at that, or while they're learning to do it, which is in my case. That's what this is. This is all a journey for me to learn how to do this. I'm learning as I go. We never stop learning. And there's always going to be something. Just when you think you know, you find out there's something new. Some aspect, some new aspect, some old aspect that you might have missed. There's always more to learn. So what do you think of this carving so far? I'm cutting in the fins, and the length on the wood's 27 inches. This makes for a really nice, really good sized bass carving. Although, with the exception of maybe Florida, unrealistically sized bass carving, but that's okay. Bigger the better, the more most people like it. I looked up to see this cloud, and just looking at this, how beautiful of a formation it was, reminded me of how small we are compared to the rest of our universe, and yet our Creator knows us well. "27-inch largemouth bass. I'll bet you ain't gonna catch one of them unless you live in Florida. And even then, the odds are pretty slim." All right, folks, this has been fun making this fish. So if you like this thing, looks good, you think it's really cool what we made, be sure to smash that like, subscribe, because we'll keep doing more neat stuff like this. We really like making fish. I think the thing's pretty cool. All in all, maybe I could have done a little better with some airbrushing, but I think it looks good, especially for chainsaw carving. We're gonna put it on a rock system, but you'll see that on the page. You click on the thumbnail. All right, guys, that's all we got. And as always, don't forget, come back when you can stay later, you smuck.